This is the second podcast for the Action Civics. Currently speaking, I'm Ray.
This is Robert.
This is Logan. Oh, I'm going first. Okay, I'll go first. So my current event that I chose is American soldiers have recently been tasked with helping the Mozambican army. Um, Basically, there's a new insurgency that has it's near one of the biggest gas reserves in the world, and they've been killing at least 2,000 civilians and displaced another 670,000. So there's been an American program that has started, and they sent a dozen Green Berets to go train the Mozambican Marines for the next 2 months, and basically to try and stop this insurgency. And officials have said that they're directly linked to the Islamic State, and they're going to be a new form of ISIS coming soon.
I have a quick question about that. So
Mhm.
if we know that they're going to be like another like terrorist organization, do you know
Mhm.
like why we have people out there training them?
Oil,
No.
money, capitalism.
No. Wait. We're not training the terrorists. We're training the Mozambican army to go fight the insurgency. The
Oh,
Okay,
insurgency
we
is
that
can
going
makes
to
keep
sense.
be.
oil.
I
All the
thought
oil, goofy.
I thought you were saying that the Mozambican army was gonna be like the
No,
new.
no.
Okay, my bad.
We're training them
Misunderstood. My bad.
to. Yeah, we're training them to defend the world's biggest gas reserves in Mozambique against the new insurgency that's going to become the new ISIS that is linked to the Islamic State.
Gotcha. Okay. I think that makes
And
sense.
apparently, it's a pretty modest sized project for America.
Really?
So it says.
Huh.
I don't know. This is all news to me.
Do you know why they're choosing Green Berets over like any other group?
Probably because Green Berets are just too sick.
Well, they are true, but
Uh,
uh,
I think it's crazy they only sent 12 of them down there.
yeah,
Not that they can't hold their own or anything, but it's literally just 12 Green Berets.
yeah. Like, why'd they go berets over seals?
And then nobody told me that one.
Okay.
They just told me who's down
Gotta Google it.
there.
Okay. Do you have more to add to your story? Not story, but
I mean,
Sorry, make believe story, bro.
no, it's just a pretty new thing. They're they've accused the mercenaries that are down there, the insurgents, of like war crimes for killing all civilians, and it's kind of why we're down there, I guess. But it's like a new thing.
We're down there for oil, 100%. Calling it, bro.
Huh?
We're down there
Well,
for
we
oil
are.
and gas.
Well, we are. We're
That's the only
protecting the
reason.
biggest gas reserve that the insurgency keeps attacking.
Yeah.
But
is Mozambique like a big oil place?
I guess.
I like
Look
when
at that. I think it's in the Middle East.
Mhm.
I thought Mozambique was Africa.
Mozambique, East Africa.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Africa.
But okay. Gotcha.
But I mean, there's not a whole lot of information about it because it's just kind of started.
Jesus.
I mean, the problem.
4 hours ago, Mozambique's insurgency militants beheading children aid agency.
Whoa.
Okay, so what's going on there?
Children as young as 11 beheaded by Mozambique militants. So we're training the guys that are currently beheading children.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Huh.
Logan, are you sure you know what side we're helping?
Yeah.
Hey man, the New York Times is telling me that Mozambique troops is part of an effort to repel the spreading insurgency across northern Mozambique. The Americans say as if it's linked to the Islamic State. Apparently, there's been problems in Mozambique since 2017 because it was a dozen fighters, and then it became 800, and it's rapidly growing in Tanzania to go attack Mozambique.
Right. It does say Mozambique insurgency, not.
Yeah.
I'm looking at something from 10
who's
minutes
helping?
ago.
Goofy, you literally agreed with me.
I know, but I'm looking at
Yeah.
something now that says from 10 minutes ago. It is the insurgency.
making me all nervous.
Well, because you didn't research properly? Why were you nervous?
No, I researched, but I just thought maybe there was a loophole, you know?
Logan cap a lot.
So how do you feel about them helping out?
Like I said in the last one, we need to keep our noses in our own business right now. No reason we should be in the Middle East.
Bitten.
And if we would have just, if we keep using our oil instead of becoming more outsourced, then we don't need to be in the Middle East. And then we're all good. There's no reason to start problems with other places.
Do you think that this is only because of oil, or because that like we think it's the right thing to do to help out?
When has the America been like, this is the right thing to do? It's all about the military
World War
industrial
II.
complex. Well, post World War II, post World War II. When is a time the U.S. has been like,
The Cold War?
okay, this is the right thing to do? Cold War, my ass. Oh,
Oh.
it is.
Cold War? What you talk about? Cold War without? Well,
No, it wasn't. It was containment. It was so the U.S. could take dominance over the world. And look at us now. We're losing. We're losing to China.
whoa! What was the other word you were gonna say?
Bro, we're 18. One swear word, I don't think she'd care. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. The fact that it was highlighted, pretty much top of the headline, is that it's the insurgency keeps attacking the biggest gas reserve.
Uh-huh.
If it was in some country, right, where it was literally like nothing, there's really no reason. There was nothing that they were fighting. It was just like, these guys are doing bad things, and we felt the need to step in. Then I would be like, yeah, maybe we're just doing it because the right thing. But I mean, we got to protect our gas and oil reserves because we're not using ours.
Yeah.
But all goes back to last podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's all just like world events that have been going on recently. So yeah. There's been. I'm looking at it right now on. Like, I just looked up Mozambique and then looked at the news tab, and there is so much that's happened in the past day compared to any other time.
Yeah.
Alright. Was that it?
Yeah, is there anything else you need to add?
That's basically all I got.
What?
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of info yet.
All right. So my topic is on the Biden, like so far, like what Biden has done, and I got two things. I got a twofer. So the first one it's shorter. So it's healthcare. So he currently signed an order to reopen the Affordable Care Act enrollment because like Trump blocked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so he wants to like undo all the actions Trump took against the ACA, because Trump could have promoted it to like people that lost their jobs, and like job is linked to healthcare, people that lost that, and so like they would be able to be eligible for the Affordable Care Act. Yeah, so he's trying to undo all that, and then he also took action to protect women's reproductive health here and abroad. Taking away the Mexico City policy, which is a global gag rule that bans international nonprofits from receiving federal family planning aid from the U.S. if they provide abortion counseling. So, like for years, like if it's a Democrat in like office, they'll take it away. If it's a Republican, they'll put it back in because it's like abortion, all that. Yeah. So those are like the big things he did for healthcare, and then for immigration, he signed. I think 3 policies, which like up until now, from what I know, it's 9, like total immigration acts that he like signed into, yeah. So he revokes Trump's. The first one revokes Trump's order that prevents families from getting separated at the border and creates a task force that aims to help families reconnect that were separated. It'll be hard because around 5,500 children were identified as being separated from their families, and 600 of those children, the courts couldn't have found their families, or like families or like sponsors or stuff like that, like where they could be housed at. Another one outlines a multi-step process to manage the migration of asylum seekers at the southern border and rollback policy set by Trump. The administration will try to address the underlying issue and provide asylum seekers legal avenues in the U.S. and review Trump-era policies to make our asylum system better. Uh, yeah, and then we'll also review the migrant protection policy, which forced asylum seekers in like Mexico to stay in like dangerous places while they waited for their asylum hearings. So like oftentimes it'd be like really bad parts, like literally they'd be hiding where they were trying to like seek asylum from, and so they'd find them and probably like most likely die.
Wow.
And then the last order requires agencies to do a deep investigation of recent regulations, policies, and guidance that have set barriers to our illegal immigration system. People have been complaining that these actions are not like they're good, but they're not like taking immediate action. So like people are kind of complaining about that. But it was found out like the some guy was was helping the ICE union. Um, yeah, and so Biden was really focusing on like going from like the top down instead of like the from the bottom up. You know what I mean? Because like if
Yeah.
you work from the bottom up, like it's immediate change. But if you work from the top down, it'll be like over time and it'll be better.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then he also gave temporary status for Venezuelans around already in the U.S., meaning 320,000 Venezuelans are now legally allowed to live here and work here for 18 months because the country is currently going through a crisis,
Venezuela.
like a political crisis.
Oh.
I don't really know much about it, but
Uh-huh.
yeah. And then the Biden administration, it's not all good news. The Biden administration is currently holding 3,200 unaccompanied migrant children at detention centers that are meant for 500 kids.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was seeing a
That's
lot
like
about
six and a
that.
half times.
yeah, they announced that they're gonna try to open more facilities, but it's a whole lot of rah-rah so far.
Yeah, I feel like his whole thing with like how before he was elected he was like totally against Trump's like whole holding system and everything
Mhm.
like that, and then he banned it, and then he reopened these like what do you call them, re-education centers or
Something like
something
that,
like
yeah.
that. It was like something just like make it seem better, but he still uses the same facilities.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know, that whole thing doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me.
So you talked about stuff like just since he's like become president, or right? Like just
Well, like yeah, obviously there's been more, but I only
Yeah.
focus on healthcare and immigration.
okay,
Like he passed the stimmy bill, so
yeah.
I get money.
And
We
you,
don't. Our parents do.
I get money. What are you talking about? We get money.
Are you claim? No, we don't. We're claimed
Yeah,
as
we do.
dependents.
yeah, we're
Yeah,
dependent.
dependents still get money.
Oh, I don't.
Mom, what? My
Yeah,
mom
you
told me
do.
I'm not getting. My
Goof,
mom told me I'm not getting any money.
she chiefing you out of money, bro. Goofy's getting money too. 17-year-olds qualify too.
I didn't file my taxes because I didn't make enough.
Wait, I haven't filed my
Oh,
taxes yet
even
either.
if you don't file your taxes, you can still do it.
Oh,
They still give you money. Yeah, your mom's receiving money. Your mom. Okay, so our
My
parents are
mom's getting
receiving
my money.
the stimulus money for us being dependents, like for children,
okay.
Yeah,
and we're receiving money, yeah, for the
in my
stimulus.
name.
Yeah,
In
in your
my
name.
name?
Yeah.
Huh.
So we got that 1,400.
And because my mom's telling me that like I don't get it, she's getting my 1,400.
Oh yeah, like if she didn't give your bank information to like when she like filed the taxes, then yeah, you're not getting it. She's getting it, but she's like if she wants to give it to you, that's up to her. But my mom
Well,
gave my bank information, so like when they gave me my tax returns, it just was automatically direct deposited in my
Nice.
bank account, and so the 1,400 is gonna be direct deposited in my bank account too.
Nice.
I guess I'll just have to check my account these next couple days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
It did it.
apparently, from what I've heard, and this is off of Champ, so I don't know. It
So
Friday
not a
is when we
reliable source, just so you
not
know.
reliable source. Yeah, it is
Okay.
already Friday. We
So-
get the stimmies.
Okay.
Logan either keeps his truck or makes a nice 1,400 down payment on a like 2012 U Civic.
Yeah, civvy
Okay.
time.
Going back to Ray's topic.
Oh, this is current events.
It
This
is, it
this
is.
a current
Current events. This is currently happening in Logan's life.
But so
Anyway,
you're talking.
Miss Bolek, please send us direct message what you're gonna do with your stimulus check.
Let us know. Let us know.
So you were talking about Venezuela going through like a political thing right now too.
Yeah.
So Turkey's also going through something. I don't know exactly what it is, but they're talking about not having like a true democracy in Turkey anymore.
Yeah.
And I guess Biden's administration is supposed to be helping that in some way.
Mm-hmm.
Have you read anything about that or?
Nah.
Okay.
I don't know if I like believe the crisis going on in Venezuela because of like socialist, right? And so immediately like America already hates them. They have like a lot of sanctions on them.
Yeah.
Like, socialism isn't supposed to work, but let's put 18 sanctions on Venezuela or whatever. Yeah. So I don't know how believable the crisis is that they're going through, because like it might just be like like propaganda to like make us believe that socialism is bad type things.
And I have one more thing that I want to ask you about, since your topic is about, it's about the Biden administration.
Yeah.
So 19 hours ago, North Korea warned the Biden administration to avoid causing a stink if he wants peace.
A stink?
Mm-hmm.
As in, like, don't cause any problems. Like,
okay.
Don't cause any kind of conflict if we want to have peace.
Say it.
I mean, that's the wording that they use.
A stink.
How do you feel about that?
How do I feel about like are we provoking? I don't really know Biden's thing on North Korea. So are we provoking him?
I don't know for sure. It's like he.
Or
to me, it sounds
like
a threat of us. Like,
well, I mean, Kim Jong Un always makes these like dumb threats.
It
all
was
the
his
time.
sister. It wasn't even him this time.
It's literally bro. They are one mind.
True.
It's Korea.
Yeah.
So they always make empty threats. What happened? What happened to they were gonna bomb us on like Christmas Day or something like that?
What?
They had like a present for us or whatever, or the missiles that could reach the White House.
Okay.
No, they don't
land in the
nice
water.
catch, Ray.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you guys.
They're always empty threats.
All right.
For real.
Is there anything else you want to add to your topic about the Biden administration?
He's doing alright. I don't know.
So you're liking what he's doing so far, at least for the most part?
Not really. I mean,
No.
like, but like he's there.
He's doing okay, but I don't like what he's doing.
Well, like I don't know, like all he's done so far. I mean, it's only been like less than like 100 days, but all he's done was like just revoke what Trump has done.
Yeah.
And I feel like he can do other stuff than that, like like implement other policies. Like I get you have to revoke stuff that Trump has done to like implement new things, but like I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, I got you.
It is what it is.
Well then, I'll just play off of Biden.
Mom's home with Chipotle. Anyway, sorry.
So
it's a current event.
I will be talking about global warming. And global warming is defined as a gradual increase in the overall temperature of the Earth's atmosphere, and it's generally attributed to the greenhouse effect caused by increased level of carbon dioxide and other pollutants. So the reason that I'm like coming in right off of Ray's talk about Biden is because when he was like during his inaugural address, I remember this from my first thing, he was talking about wanting to unify us to help climate change, but only said he wants to unify us, never actually gave any true way of wanting to like change like or help climate change, like fix it. But so the big thing that like I was reading was the US alone has been losing 36 million trees annually, which it sounds like a lot because it is. But that's also only in a 5-year period. So if we lose 36 million trees a year, in 5 years that'll only be 1% of all trees gone in the US, which 1% doesn't sound like a lot. But that's I don't even know what what would be 36 would be 1% of.
Yeah.
Some insane amount.
Yeah.
But so because of us losing 36 million trees a year, we're also losing about $96 million a year replanting trees. And like these trees are also exports. So if these trees are dying, we aren't having these extra exports or things to sell.
Oxygen.
I'm getting there, yeah.
Oh.
So trees also reduce the heat, which would stop, like reduce heat in certain areas, which is going to stop all the pollutants coming up and like polluting the air more. They also remove pollutants, improve water quality, and absorb some UV radiation, which is the cause of these greenhouse gases.
Yeah.
Global warming is causing longer and hotter heat waves. So that's the main problem right now, is not that it's just spiking, but that it is spiking and staying at that spike for a while. So it's plateauing at an all-time high and also at an all-time low. So that's that change, the drastic change. Like the past few days we've even seen, it went from 70, I think, on Sunday to yesterday snowing.
Yeah, it was like 30 or something.
Yeah, it's a 40-degree jump in less than 24 hours.
It was.
Global warming is causing glaciers to melt, which is raising the sea levels, which is causing flooding and possible like destruction of homes.
Yeah.
Polar bear deaths.
Yeah. Under the Trump administration, clean vehicle safeguards were rolled back. So we were trying to have clean vehicles be a bigger thing. Like we wanted to focus ourselves on clean vehicles. And during the Trump administration, he took that away, so we weren't focusing on it anymore. Yeah. Obviously, like there's people out there like Elon Musk who are always going to be focusing on it, trying to make like the world better by it.
Yeah.
But one person alone isn't going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
Burning fossil fuels causes global warming because fossil fuels are a big polluter. Like it's with the BP in whatever year that was when it all spilled into, was it the Gulf of Mexico?
I think so.
Like,
some ocean.
Yeah. So scientists have been seeing effects of global warming since 1988, but they weren't taken seriously until the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Most global warming, though, has only happened since the 1950s. So there's been people on the planet for how many years before that? Like
thousands.
Thousands, yeah. So if they're only seeing it in the past 80 years, and most of it's only been caused in the past 70, 80 years.
Yeah.
Like, it's a super drastic change by us. And I want to talk about Greta Thunberg. She's a pretty young child. She's younger than us.
She's like 15 or something like that.
One of her big points is that she wants us to panic. She wants to bring panic to everyone so that they start realizing how big of a deal this is and how much we should be trying to change it.
Yeah.
So she is trying to cause worry in the eyes of just everyday people because she wants people to realize how bad of a thing global warming can actually be. And how if we don't do it, it's not just going to kill the planet, but kill all the people on it too. Like, the people are going to die before the planet does.
Yeah.
So, the only way that we'll be able to fix global warming is if the entire world, or most of the world, I can't say the entire world, but most of the world will have to go through a massive cultural shift, because there's, say, like the United States. Most people live in rural areas like Minooka, Shannon, Shorewood, and work out in the city, which is 45 minutes to an hour drive, right?
Yeah.
So let's find safer ways to do that without everyone being in their own car, or everyone using some sort of vehicle that is polluting the earth more. So like, say, electric trains, electric cars, buses, so everyone is like saving as much as possible.
Yeah.
And then another fact that I found is that the U.S. is the second worst carbon emitter, right behind China. And that's only because of the population density in China, because there are so many more people than they have like territory to house them.
Yeah.
So, do you guys have anything you want to bring up about global warming?
I'm gonna keep it 1,000. I'm gonna keep it 1,000. We are dying.
Oh yeah, like
I don't know. Elon's taking us to Mars, so.
Anyways, let's get back to reality. We are dying.
It literally is the reality.
Do you not think that like we're just gonna mess up Mars though too?
Well, the only way to mess up Mars is to make it better, because right now, like, okay, hear me out, bro. Hear me out. Hold up. So right now, the Mars atmosphere is what it's like we can't breathe on it, right?
Yeah.
Like without like space stuff.
There is no air. Yeah.
There is no atmosphere. That's the thing.
And so if we were to if we were to nuke it, or if we were to
Nuke it.
hold up. If we were to nuke it, or if we were to like I think move all our factories over there, it would create enough like all the bad stuff that would like you know how it's bad here, like the CO2 and all that. It would actually create an atmosphere over there. Yeah.
I don't
So
know if
your
that's-
solution is to move all the factories to Mars and then outsource to Mars, and then we save Earth.
We're not saving Earth. There's no possible way we're saving Earth.
it's not going to be anytime soon that like anything happens, but
So
No,
I do
we're not.
believe we
No,
can
no,
go
no, no,
through.
no. I'm being.
Hold up.
I'm keeping it 6,000. We are not saving Earth. There's
So I
no
think
possible way to save Earth.
with the cultural change we could, but I highly disagree with the whole car thing. I signed the RPM Act and the whole government's thing that's going on with that. Are you guys aware with the RPM Act?
no.
All right, so the government released this thing basically trying to make it so you can't modify your car in any way. And like half of it is because like some modifications can release more gas and everything like that, but like the most of it is just because they like try to put in the mind of everybody else that like they're big scary race cars and they're all bad. Literally down to you will not be able to put decals on your car. You won't be able to change anything about it. Like factory is the only way it comes. Police cars won't be like boosted anymore. Like it's stupid. But I don't know. I think there's some things that we can change, but I think some things are like way too out of proportion. Like the RPM Act.
Well, like
Well, the RPM Act is
most of the stuff
the
people already
combatant.
put in their cars is already illegal. So like, you know,
Yeah.
that's really not doing anything. Yeah,
Like it's not going to stop people.
yeah. But now it will make the cops slower. So me in my 350, I can outrun them.
in my
I
Ford
thought you were getting the
Escape.
G36 instead.
P35. Yeah, probably.
Sorry.
Yeah. All right. We will not. There is no possible way to save Earth. You want to know why? Because of capitalism.
I don't know if that's true though.
In the 70s, let me tell you, Goofy. In the 70s, Exxon did the first thorough research on global warming. I think it concluded in the 80s, so that's what they found out. And they only did it because they knew the sea levels were going to rise, and so they wanted to place themselves perfectly to still get the oil and like all that. Exxon literally buried their information.
That is so smart.
Exxon literally buried their information because they knew if that like was ever released, they would go out of business. No one. That's why they did that. They buried their information, and then they started lobbying the government to start this whole climate change is a hoax thing. In the U.S., we're like one of the only countries where like the majority of the population believes climate change is a hoax. It's because the government has been lobbied so much by the oil industry and all that to so they can stay in business.
Yeah.
It's literally
So
all
what if
because of
everybody-
capitalism.
So what if everybody else fixes themselves then?
Then
What
we'll
do you
still
mean?
be
You said
screwed
that we're
because-
like one of the only countries that doesn't believe it. So if
No,
everybody else
we're the only. I'm not saying that they like other countries. They believe it. They're just like not really
Yeah.
doing anything about it.
So what if everybody else does something about it?
It would help a
And we don't.
lot. Yeah. I'm not. What? There's like 100 and something other countries. If all of them but the U.S. did something, yeah, that'd help so much.
China would have to start doing something too,
Yeah.
and China doesn't like cooperate with most other countries.
Yeah. It's literally all because of capitalism.
Yeah, but I think even if every other country goes like strictly eco-friendly, if the top 5 don't, which I don't know what the number 5, 4, and 3 are, but I don't see China or the U.S. going full eco-friendly anytime soon.
No.
I mean,
No way.
we're changing our fleet right now to all electric vehicles.
Yeah,
Police cars, mail trucks, garbage trucks.
Yeah. There's still no way. How many Republicans are there in Congress and and all that? And they literally what happened in Texas? They blamed it on clean energy, which literally had nothing to do
Yeah.
with clean energy. It was the fact that energy was privatized in Texas. That's why it failed.
you're
They
talking
literally
about
cut
freezing
costs.
stuff, right? Or what are you talking about?
Yeah. How what millions
The winter
of
storm.
Texans?
Yeah.
Yeah, millions of Texas had no no power. It's because the energy was privatized, and so they cut costs to make more profit. That's literally all capitalism is: cut costs to make more profit. And so
Yeah.
they really didn't care, you know. I think it was like for their boards, for like the cheat, like their board, like their executive board or whatever. I think like seven of them didn't even live in Texas. It was like three
Wow.
actually lived in Texas, and they lived in like the parts where like it wasn't affected.
It's like very northern Texas or very southern
Yeah.
Texas. I mean.
Oh, yeah, they lived in parts that weren't affected.
Wow.
Or if they did live in parts that were affected, they probably just left the state,
Yeah.
like Ted Cruz did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally all like global warming is tied to capitalism. There's no way to like get rid of it unless you stop lobbying the government and then somehow convince millions of people, billions of people to believe in it. And that's literally impossible. The earth is dead.
I feel like it's not going to be our lifetime. It's going to be generations after.
Isn't there like a countdown in Times Square, and it's like 8 years or something until there's like
What?
a point of no return? Yeah, hold up.
To the point of no return, I think, yeah.
Doomsday Clock.
Well,
Yeah.
No, it's not the Doomsday Clock, I don't think, is it?
No, yeah, it was called the Doomsday Clock, Times Square.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. New York clock that told now time's running out. 7 years of when this
Wow.
picture was taken, which was September 20th, 2020. 7 years. We have 7 years until the point of no return, and then we can't do anything about it.
I mean, it's not going to be like that 7 year sits and like the world's just gone.
No, 7 years until like
It's
if we
impossible
don't
to
do anything
fix.
in the 7 years, after 7 years, it's like
Yeah.
if we do anything, there's no point. The world's not
well,
gonna-
how long do we have after the 7 years?
I don't know. I don't think we're making it to 2020. What is it? 20
2100.
yeah, like halfway through that. I don't
Will I
even
be
think we're
dead?
making- Yeah.
All right.
Logan doesn't care if he's not going to be here.
Oh yeah.
I'm just making sure, bro. I'm just making sure.
I feel like if we do start to like make a big change towards anything, it's not going to be until like the next 2-3 years.
Really? I don't
We're
think
really
so.
gonna have to do a buzzer beater with this one, huh?
Yeah. I feel like they're going to wait till very last minute.
I don't think so.
Well,
Government would keep being lobbied by big oil until they can't produce anything anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
what was that big oil dude's name?
What?
Rockefeller?
Yes.
The first one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, how he
And
controlled
toying with
literally
the system.
everything.
James
Yeah.
something Rockefeller.
Yeah.
I think it's D.
I think so too. Yeah, he was like the first. That was in Illinois, if
It's
I'm
a
not
really good
mistaken.
movie about him. It's a really good movie about him.
I'm pretty sure that was in Illinois that like he started his business.
Huh.
Seemed
It could be the next ones.
He was not a good guy.
No, he was a terrible person.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he was like I'm pretty sure he was like anti-Semitic too. Like fuck.
Well, they didn't show that part in the movie, so I'm not really sure.
Well,
but...
obviously,
He was a really bad person.
The Rockefellers run the world. So, yeah, they literally like they made modern medicine, which
Yeah.
is so stupid because they're big oil.
Yeah, it just shows how the family name can get you anywhere you want.
Well, yeah, I guess that and like exploiting people.
Yeah, yeah.
What's the word exploit mean?
Like take advantage of.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So,
I'm a smart man.
do you guys have anything else to add?
I got nothing.
We're all doomed. That's it.
Okay, well, on that note, we're gonna end it.
Ray's gonna be the dude on New York streets with the like signs. He's like, the end of the world is coming. Accept Jesus Christ.